What's up, YouTube? You know what time it is. It's MightyFan time. And I got to transition from my Season of the Fan series to my, regular jersey collecting series. So, yes, I'm happy. My Eagles are 3-0, and they're looking really good so far. And, it's really exciting times here. So, but that being said, I thought I would put this video on YouTube instead of Facebook because I've been a little remiss. I haven't been able to respond to Big Baby's more recent challenges in the recent weeks. Things have been pretty crazy. With work and doing everything I have to do to try to get ready to move into the new house next month. It's almost a month from today. It's actually going to be a month from Wednesday, this Wednesday, the 28th. And, there's a lot to do, and they keep asking me for different pieces of information. It's just pretty crazy. Every time I think I've given enough information, they want some more, but that's all part of the process. It's been a little, it's been a bit stressful, just by, trying to figure all the things that have to be done and, trying to get all that information together. Sometimes, you just don't realize how hard it is sometimes just to get a little bit of information that you need, and it's just, it's been a little chaotic, but I've done what I could, and I'm happy to say I was able to get everything together. It's just, it took a little time, but all's good. All's good. So, we're still on track for the 28th of October, and I'll have my first ever purchased house. So the ideas keep flooding me what I'm going to be doing in there, how I'm going to create, my own place, and how I'm going to store things in there. I look forward to it. But as you can tell, it's also been very difficult for me because I'm a jersey collector. I'm a collector. I love doing that. That's my passion. I know it's pretty crazy because a lot of people have different passions that involve I don't know, family and this, that, and the other thing. Here I am all about jerseys, but that's what I do. I'm a single man. I have that ability to do that. So it's been tough. It's been tough because I've been seeing a lot of stuff that the jersey heads have been grabbing, and it's just I feel handcuffed. And it's been, now it's like a junkie going into, remission. Because every time I see someone, my buddy Big Slim and all the, jersey heads out there grabbing stuff, posting on Facebook, oh, this new pickup, that new pickup, I'm going, this isn't really helping me. Maybe I should stay off of Facebook groups for until I, get the house, because then, in the months after that, then I can kind of get back into the game a little bit. But I keep telling myself it's going to be worth it. So I hope it's worth it, because this has been really difficult for me. When you have a passion for something, you gotta kind of take a break from that passion. It's not fun. But I hope to be grabbing something from Ron at some point pretty soon. So at least maybe that will tide me over a little bit until until November. Because come Black Friday, I'm gonna pick up a few things, but not as much as I've done in years past. But rest assured, I'm gonna be grabbing a few things at least. Shout out to Ron. But anyhow, all that being said, the main point of this video was the replies to Big Baby's challenges. I don't have the jerseys in front of me. I'm just being Mr. Lazy Man right now. I didn't want to pull them out of the closet or whatever. But so his most recent challenges, if I can remember, has been like, um, what do you prefer as far as a jersey? Do you prefer stitched or pressed on? You know, numbers and letters like the NFL jerseys from back in the day. You know, you'll see Mitchell and Ness make them. Examples of those, you know, the pressed on jerseys like the Rams. You know, you got yeah, I gotta be careful because some teams wore both. I know the Rams wore both too because some of their jerseys are stitched and some of them are heat pressed. The older Buccaneer jerseys, like you see that Steve Young rookie jersey, like Hardy Nickerson. Those are heat pressed. Some of those Jets jerseys, like the Dan Klecko, Mark Gastineau. Those are heavy heat pressed jerseys. You got so many of them. I mean, my Eagles, of course, had heat pressed jerseys, name and number jerseys. And then you got the stitched jerseys. You think of the stitched jerseys like the Steelers, like the Browns. Those other teams, Johnny Unitas, Colts, Joe Namath, Jets, so many of those, and of course, most of the NBA. And then you do have some exceptions. I see their big baby with your Pistons, the bad boy days Pistons, and before that with the McAdoo Pistons jerseys, and a few others. The Bucks had them, and the Bob Lanier, Sidney Moncrief days. I got both of those jerseys. The Jazz kind of did both. The Jazz had like the front was all heat pressed and the back number, but the name was stitched on. For some of their jerseys, for the number 44 Pistol Pete New Orleans Jazz, it was all heat pressed. But of course the Jordan rookies are heat pressed jerseys, and some of his other jerseys, and then you got a lot of the ones that are stitched, like the some like the All-Star jerseys. Some of the All-Star jerseys, of course, the 85 is all heat pressed, but everything else is like stitched. And like the 98 and the black with the red pinstripes and the all black jerseys and whatever. So there's many different variations of these jerseys, and my personal preference is the heat press jerseys. And the reason for that is because my Eagles wore them. I remember when the Eagles, I got into them about 93, and they were wearing the Kelly Greens. They were wearing this logo on the jersey sleeves, and I love those jerseys. The Eagles were the first team in Philadelphia that I really started following, and they just wore those heat press jerseys. They wore the Kelly Greens or the away whites. The numbers were always heat pressed, and they always just looked shiny, and just there was always something about them that just I loved. And my first, of course, when you're young and you get your first jersey, I mean, back then it's like the replica jersey, and those jerseys are pressed on, they're not stitched or anything, the old starters and stuff like that. So, I just have fond memories of those jerseys, and I have a lot of heat press jerseys. Mitchell and Ness, basically just about every team that wore a heat press jersey I have at least one of for the NFL. I think most of them for the NBA I have at least one. I just love them. I mean, it's one of the things that really dominates my collection. I mean, when you look at my jerseys, there's quite a few stitched ones too. There's quite a few of a lot of things in the collection, but the heat pressed name and number jerseys, I have just about one of every team that wore them because I just love them. I mean, it's just something that they feel comfortable. It's just something about them. They're a little lighter sometimes. It's just something about them that just always just looks classic to me. And from a time that I grew up with, a lot of the teams were wearing them, I love them. I really do. So. And it's just to feel the numbers and just the way that it looks. And it is shiny. Like, you put it up in a light, it's like, it has that little reflection to it that you don't quite get with the stitched jerseys. And I like the stitched ones, too. Don't get me wrong. I still want to get that Sam Huff Redskin someday and do, for Halloween sometime, be Ice Cube from Are We There Yet? I want to do that so badly. I just got to get the jersey. Maybe do that for like a Christmas party or something. Dress up like that. But there's just something about those heat press jerseys. I love them. I love them. Those are my favorites. And then the other, see, I'm kind of backtracking because there was a few challenges that I missed on. The other one was what jersey, like, of course, the other ones that I love for heat press are the old Sonics jerseys, the Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, that arched Sonics. Those were heat pressed, and those are still some of my favorites in the NBA. The whole like history of the NBA. I love those old Sonics jerseys from that era. But anyhow, like the next challenge question was, were you ever fooled? By a jersey. Like you bought a jersey back in the day and you thought it was just the best thing, and then later on you learn more about it and then you got the authentic. And there's a lot of examples, but I'm going to tell you one. So when I first started collecting jerseys, I was getting them on eBay, and I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't even know a fake existed. Like, I had no idea. You couldn't tell me. I mean, the story I always like to tell is I went to the Mitchell & Ness store wearing a fake Ozzie Smith Cardinal jersey, and one of the employees was trying to tell me and show me what the differences were, and it was just in one ear, out the other, because at that time, it was before the groups, before I joined one of those groups, and I just didn't know. So I just thought that they were upset that I was getting good deals in them. I didn't know, honestly. I look back on it, I do laugh at that because, I mean, it is what it is. But I got this jersey off eBay. I actually got on eBay from overseas, and it was a Gary Carter Montreal Expos jersey, and it was a knockoff. And not only was it a knockoff, but it had like a fake kind of on the back 8, on the back number 8, it had like this fake kind of signature like engraved into the 8, like stitched almost into the 8. Which, I mean, looking back at it, is like, what in the world, What was I thinking, But for whatever reason, I thought that this is something that Mitchell & Ness did, that they did this kind of thing with even like the autograph on the jersey. I mean, you knew it wasn't in marker or anything, but it was just like stitched onto the jersey. I just thought maybe this is something that they did a run of these for whatever reason. Again, this is before I got into the groups. This is before I knew anything about, the authentic versus the fake. And I loved that jersey. Like, I had that jersey and I wore it. I remember I was in college at the time at community college before I went to Cabrini. I was at Montgomery County Community College. I used to wear the jerseys, in the classes, and I wore that one, and I just thought I was the top dog, with that jersey, because the old Expos jersey and everything, and so years later, I got into the groups. And I started learning more about, fakes and how you can tell, and, the giveaways and this and that. And I knew right away that was a knockoff. And so years later, I think actually maybe 2 years ago, I got the authentic. Gary Carter away. I got both of them. I got the home and away set. And, just happy because, I got the authentic now. And I know for sure that that's a legit, Mitchell & Ness, but I think that's one of the examples that I can give as far as me just being fooled, me not knowing anything back in the day and just grabbing jerseys on eBay. I thought every jersey was authentic. I mean, I just didn't know, and I got a lot of baseball and I got a lot of different stuff, and since then I've kind of gotten a lot of the authentics. I think one of the other ones that I remember real quick is I got this Roger Clemens Blue Jays jersey on eBay. This is years ago, and this is actually when I started getting into the groups, but I still wasn't 100% certain on certain things, and I didn't do legit checks too often. I should have, but so there was this Roger Clemens Blue Jays jersey on eBay. You guys know this one. It's the the 97, I think. And it's the home white, and it's got the Jackie Robinson, 50th patch. It's just a really nice jersey. And the pictures of it on eBay look pretty good. So I got it. It came in the mail, and as soon as, like after I saw it and I kind of looked at it a bit, like it was that moment of, because it was like it was the Roger Clemens Blue Jays jersey claiming to be the Mitchell Ness one, and it would have been okay, but but under the underarm area, it almost had like that kind of vent that you see in today's jerseys. It kind of had those. It had some buttonholes or something like that going on. It was like the numbers and letters, like you could tell, like after I got it, but it was still a Roger Clemens Blue Jays jersey. I mean, whatever. But then years later, actually just a few years ago, my dad was able to get one for me on eBay, the authentic one, because I sent him the link for Christmas like years ago, and I have the authentic of it now. And those are just a couple examples. The other question was, what's your preference between, I think it was USA and El Salvador run jerseys? And really, honestly, I don't have a great preference. If I like the jersey, I'm going to get it. I mean, I don't care where it's made. If it's made in El Salvador, USA, Korea, even the newer China stuff, if I like the jersey, I'm going to get it. I'm happy with it. But I will say this, and I don't really care. If I really want the jersey and it's a rare jersey, I will wear them big if I have to. But I will say this, fit-wise, I will go El Salvador over USA, only because the old USA runs were just so big. Like the basketball, the NBA ones is just long. The football ones, it's like, oh my goodness, it's like a bed sheet, some of them. It's just, they're crazy big, and that's just how they made them back then. Whereas the El Sals, I mean, they're a little more form-fitting. They're not as, drape-like when you put them on. But quality-wise, I do think the USA's are better just a bit than the El Sal. I mean, I know one of the guys made a video comparing like the Champion Authentic to the, Mitchell and Ness, Grant Hill, Fort Wayne Pistons or whatever. And, hey, that just goes to show that Mitchell and Ness made mistakes back in the day too. All right, for all you haters out there. They made mistakes back in the day too, not just now. But no, obviously mistakes are made. But, the problem that I have with the old vintage authentics, they just don't make them big. So it's good if you can fit into those smaller size jerseys, that's fine. But, for someone like me who has a little more size, yeah, I'm not going to be going after too many of the vintage stuff. I love the way they look, but they didn't make them past certain sizes. And it's like, all right, well. I do have some vintage, though. I love them. I got some baseball, just a few basketball. But they're awesome. I love them, but they got them, they got to get them a little bigger. They got to get them a little bigger. So yeah, that kind of answers that question. Hopefully I didn't butcher that one, but I honestly don't have a great preference. If I like the jersey, I'm going to get it. It doesn't really matter to me where it's made. It's just, it just catches something. It just catches my eye. I just got to have it. It's just one of those things. But I will say, I think the USA runs, quality-wise, are probably the best. I mean, the flannel jerseys speak for themselves. The baseball, the MLB, flannel jerseys, they're all made in the USA. Those were not made anywhere else, I don't believe. I know for sure today they're still made in the USA. I mean, they don't make them anywhere else. And they're really nice. I don't have too many of them, but the ones that I have, I really like. Maybe at some point I'll get a few more in the collection, but I love the ones I have. And when I see them in the store, they always just look nice. I remember Woody, Woodward 777. I don't know what happened to him. Hopefully he's okay. He was like the king of the flannel. He would have all those flannel jerseys, and they just always looked really nice. Excuse me. They always look really nice, and I know they're all made in the USA. So I think quality-wise, USA probably takes the top. But I think fit-wise, if I may say so, I think some of the older run USA, you just have to be a little careful. Because, they do the basketball, they run long, the football run long, they're like drapes, and the quality's awesome. Quality is just they all are really really good, but just the length of those jerseys. I think one of the great stories, and I'm pretty certain this was a USA run. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. But is that Jeff George Falcons jersey? It's like no matter which one you get, it's going to be a big one. For whatever reason. That one they made extra big. Which is a cool looking jersey. It's that white, number 1 with the 75th anniversary. Really nice jersey. It's actually one of the few Falcon jerseys I don't own. That and Tommy Nobis. But I always hear from people, man, that's just a big jersey. Even if you get it in a smaller size, things like a 10 on you. For whatever reason. And I believe that was a USA run. I know I have a few USA runs, and they're, they're big. I have a Doug Williams Buccaneer jersey, and that thing is big. I have an Elway. First Mitchell and Ness jersey I ever owned was a John Elway 75th anniversary, the orange with the blue and white sleeves. The thing's big. But it was the first one I ever owned, and I'm never going to get rid of it just because it was my first ever Mitchell and Ness jersey. But yeah, those old USAs, boy, I mean, they were big. You can fit a couple people in some of them. I mean, it's those things are big. But quality-wise, it's hard to beat that. It's hard to beat what they did with the USA runs. Hence why they're so sought after for collectors. And all the older stuff, to be honest. I mean, you get some of those old jerseys on eBay. I mean, look out. So, yeah, I hope that answers all the questions. I think that was everything. There may have been one more in there that I'm just blanking on right now. But, thanks for the challenges as always. Look forward to seeing what you come up with for the next challenge. It's just been, I just can't. I've been just so busy with everything. I just haven't been able to reply to these things and on Facebook like I was doing. So I figured, let me just do one big wrap up video for all of them, put it on YouTube. Instead of clogging up things on Facebook, maybe just put a link to this video on the groups. Yeah, so shout out to Big Baby for the challenges. My Eagles are playing your Lions in a couple weeks. We got revenge on our mind from last Thanksgiving. You know this. It's not the same Eagles now. That defense is playing now, and they got Wentz. You'll see him. Don't worry. They're coming. But anyhow, that's going to do it for me. I'll be at the Flyers preseason game tomorrow night with my buddy Mark M. Looking forward to that. Always a great time to go to a Flyers game. And this year they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. So it's going to be a really cool season. Looking forward to that. Always a good time to get together with Mark M. We have a little tradition. See, what we do is we get together, we go to the game, we go to Wawa. All right. For those who don't know Wawa, it's like an East Coast thing. For those of you who don't know Wawa, it's like a convenient market, right? You get your food, you get your hoagies there, you get all sorts of chips, all sorts of stuff, sodas, whatever. You just get that, and there's like a huge chain of them around here. So we go to Wawa, we get our whatever food, hoagie, chips, whatever, drinks. And we go to the game, and we this is a tradition we started a couple years ago. So we'll go to the game, we'll do a little tailgate. So we'll be in the parking lot, and we're just eating our food. Sometimes a little quickly because we get there. Sometimes a little late, because of traffic or whatever. So we finish eating, finish our drink. We go to the game. We watch the game, whatever, and then we'll go back to the car in the parking lot. We'll just wait there for a little bit until the traffic subsides a bit. Then we take off. So it's a little tradition he and I do, and I look forward to that again tomorrow night. And, you know, it's a preseason game against the Islanders, but it's always a great time to go to a Flyers game. You know, hockey's a great sport to watch live. I always look forward to that. Of course, it's always good to go with a good friend. So look forward to that. I mean, other than that, just doing what I have to do. I have to start packing pretty soon, get my stuff together to get ready to get into the new house almost a month from now. And then, boy, when I get that together, yeah. You guys wait to see that video when it's all put together. Ooh. Talk about you know, just a man den, you know, all together. Not just one room, not basement. No, whole house. It's the benefits of being single. I've been preparing for this. So anyhow, that's going to do it for me. Again, shout out to all the challenges for Big Baby. Shout outs to all my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Just hit that subscribe button. Leave me a like. You know, let's spread the goodness. Okay, so anyhow, that's going to do it for me. Shout outs to everyone out there. Shout outs to all my fellow Jersey heads, of course. All the groups on Facebook. You guys keep doing it. You're killing me, though, man. You know, you keep posting all that stuff, and I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs saying, man, I can't go after anything. This is hard, man. I need just a little taste. Just a little taste. Anyhow, that's going to do it. All my family, friends, fellow DeviantArt members, anyone I'm forgetting. Well, I've rambled on for almost 27 minutes. So I'm going to go and get some sleep, get ready for another work day tomorrow. And then tomorrow night for the Flyers preseason game with Markham. So that should be a good time. Until the next video, everyone, this is MightyFan's saying peace. I'll see you then. All right, take care.